So I thought I'd better do a video on the machair while I'm here, and just to explain a little bit about what the machair is, so I can maybe post this online so people can understand what it's like to have one of the rarest habitats in the world on your doorstep without actually appreciating it and coming out and seeing it. So I'm based out on Uist in the Western Isles. I'm actually on the very tip of South Uist just now, just before you hit Benbecula. Meant to have a meeting with a crofter, but unfortunately this red dot on the horizon over there is him. He's doing some work just now, so I thought might as well make a little video while I'm here, no time wasted and all that. So as you can see, just absolutely stunning today. That's the first thing you should notice. 7 o'clock and it's looking like this on the 2nd of September. And not many places in the UK is going to have weather as good as this just now. Well, we are all having a bit of a nice bit of weather just now. That's actually a dunlin that you might have just heard screeching as it went past. So I guess the first thing is, what is machair? Well, machair is produced when crushed seashells, which is different from the majority of beaches in the UK, which actually have crushed sandstone, worn down sandstone. The crushed seashells mixes with peat and forms quite a fertile soil. So all of this actually, what I'm standing on right now, and you can make out in the distance there, that's all cultivated machair. It's all turned into this stuff, which is a mix of oats, rye and barley. I'll get onto that in a second. First I thought I'd better show you the actual what's inside the machair here, so you can actually see, digging it up with my hands, it just sifts through your fingers. There's nothing in it at all, it's just sand. You can make out the sand now, and the organic matter, barely anything sticks to your hands, not got much of a clay composition to it, and then simple as that, you can get rid of most of it. So the crop itself, the first thing you notice is it's mixed in all these different wildflowers, so a little bit of sunspurge there, red shank, then you actually get to the crop. There's even still corn marigolds and all sorts in there. That's how it would have been back in the olden times across much of the UK before they started getting desperate to get the most out of the land. They would use herbicides and pesticides to get rid of all these weeds, but they're no different, no problem out here, so it's fine to have those. So first things first, oats. Everyone knows oats. These oats are, they're called small oats out here because of the size of them. That's just the only thing that will grow out here. It's the special variety that's been bred over generations and what's cultivated the best out here. Now, what brings the oats on, because they're quite, when you actually get to see the plant, there's not a lot to it. And if I can get rid of that red shank, you'll get a better view of that. It's just a stalk there. So you use something like, got rye in here. The rye comes up a bit quicker, it's a bit thicker, that can act as a shield for the oats. There also should be some barley in here. I saw barley as I was walking up, so I'll try and see if I can grab some of that. There's some barley there. So again, that's thicker, comes up, protects the crop. So this is one of the key areas for machair out here. It's designated land. It's also, probably just can't make it out in the camera, it'll be too poor quality, but there's a white dot on the horizon I can make out. That's the part of the military range. So this is part of the military range on South Uist, which is still a big employer for the islands. And this land, because it's active, it's a military range. I've actually just driven past this fence here. There's a white flagpole on the right hand side of that shed. If that had a red flag flying, I wouldn't be allowed to be here for my own safety, because they do test missiles and things. So this area is actually very poorly protected for things like geese can come in and destroy the crop, really decimate it, just flatten it and eat all the seed. But the crofters club together at times like this in evenings, and they'll come out and they'll chase the geese away and try and keep them away. It's quite a tough ask. That's one of the major problems that faces crofters. If you can make out the blue, hopefully you can. There's a huge flock of starling coming over. Again, I doubt the camera on the phone's good enough to pick that out. But anyway, the blue, the loch you should be able to make out, that's part of Loch B, which is exactly where the geese run to when they get chased off the corn. So you're fighting a losing battle right off the bat. As soon as you come out here, you chase the geese away. They just fly straight onto the loch, and then they come back when you're not paying attention anymore. So it's difficult for the crofters here in particular, and that's why I'm down here today. I'm meeting one of these crofters on the horizon again to talk about their SRDP application, which in itself, they claim that the crofters are capable of doing the applications themselves, but there's very few that I believe that could actually do the application themselves. It's a shame for these guys. But luckily, I've been here, I've been able to do 6 applications so far, 2 still to go. And then, yeah, it's helping the crofters. It makes you feel good about this part of the work. This video is more for me than anyone else, to be honest, because I need to remind myself of what I've done when I was out here, to remind myself of the challenges I faced of living in a fairly remote area, but also working and giving my all for the cause, because this is only 250 square kilometres of this machair that exists in the world. So to have that between us and Ireland, Scotland and Ireland has it all, it's just not advertised enough, it's not talked about enough, and it's something which I'm very passionate about bringing to the masses. We should know about this, we should enjoy it. I mean, that's what it's here for, and it's really important to me that people get that message. So probably going to stick this on YouTube. Not a big fan of seeing myself on YouTube, but it's important that we get to spread this message, and you should come out to the Western Isles. Uist in particular still has all this crofting going on, all this activity. A lot of the other places like Lewis and Harris has switched where they just grow grass on the Machair, and it's just for grazing their animals during the year, whereas the Uist lot, they just get stuck in. They still believe in what they're doing, still got that tradition, still wanting to carry on doing that traditional way, and it's not really showing a sign of stopping. They might get rid of the traditional stacks, which is going to be another video tomorrow, which I'm going to be actually helping build them, and it's moving away from the traditional stacks. But the worst case here would be they give up producing this. The amount of wildflowers in there for the bees, the amount of different variety of species in there, just unreal. So we're keeping our fingers crossed that this will carry on for a long time. I'm just going to see if you can make out this giant flock over there. Don't think they're coming up, but just for the last minute or so I'm just going to do a really slow pan around and just enjoy the noises of the Hebrides, and just enjoy the peace and quiet.